Volume 2. So, aggressive autism. I want to define aggression. When I looked it up, it part of the definition, the Google dictionary definition stated intent to cause harm. And we define autism. So with aggressive autism, we're saying that the person is autistic. They have these autistic traits, at least, and they are using aggression with intent to cause harm. Have an issue with that, because in many cases, these individuals are not intending to cause harm. They are simply attempting to communicate, and for lack of a better way to explain it, because they lack verbal skills or sign language, verbal skills, communication skills. They lack verbal skills and they lack sign language skills. They lack communication skills. So therefore, they lash out in an attempt to get someone to understand. Not meaning to harm, not intending to harm. Sometimes I'm not even sure if they know they're causing harm. I'm sure there are different levels and degrees of aggression, as much as there are different levels and degrees of ability to understand the harm that's being caused. But I believe in most cases, these children are not just intending to hurt people. I think they are trying to get a response. They're trying to invoke an action to be taken because they know that they are lacking in something. And if you don't understand language 100%, then you probably don't 100% understand actions either, or consequences of actions, such as lashing out, hitting, taking things that don't belong to you. I see a child playing. I want the ball. I see the ball. I want to get the ball. I don't totally understand, in some cases, that it's not mine to take. So when you say aggressive autism, I don't think anyone, not especially not the person going through it, wants to be aggressive. I don't think so. I'm thinking that person definitely does not want to be aggressive. I don't think so. I don't think that they want to be aggressive. I think that they want to be understood. They want their needs to be met. And that if you lash out in anger, if you're angry that you can't get your point across, if you are in a situation where you can't get your point across, or you can't get your needs met because you can't get your point across as to what your needs are, I think anger is a logical response, if you will, to not being able to communicate that your needs are not being met, and not totally understanding not having any other tools at your disposal to use. I think aggression would almost be logical. Even though undesirable, logical nonetheless. A logical course of action to take. And parents who are going through, parents, caregivers, family members that are going through this will probably almost always certainly agree that at some point in time, the child seems genuinely confused and hurt if you about what they're doing, genuinely confused. I know our son Lance, when he first started becoming aggressive 4 or 5 years ago, my husband said, you really need to think through the timeline, because you always say this and you have to go back. Well, keep in mind now that he's 19, and at the time when he was very aggressive, no, I wasn't sitting down writing, oh, today Lance punched me in my back, today he hit me in my head. I wasn't taking these notes. So if you are a person who has an aggressive child, please sit down and take notes. Take you a 2 for $1 conversation notebook from Walmart, or what have you, and write down dates, events, journalize as much as you can about your child. You're going to need it later. But anyway, 4 to 5 years ago, when he first started becoming aggressive, and when I figure out exactly what it was, I'll come back and do another. I'll come back and let you know. When I would explain to his dad when he came home what Lance did, he was really embarrassed. He was genuinely embarrassed. And when his dad would question him, Lance, you hit your mom? He would get in his face, you hit your mom? You hit your mom? Lance would cry and bawl like he was genuinely sorry. So I say, I haven't had experience with all these children, but I know there's a lot of commonalities, and I know that a lot of things that they do when they are having issues with their communication, they're doing it, it's just a matter of survival. It's not, oh, I'm going to beat my mama up because, I want to. Most of the time, the mothers are the ones getting beat up because many times the mother's the only one that's there. It's a situation with single parents or 2-parent household, and most oftentimes the father is out working, providing a living. So, in volume 2, the lesson for today, or what I want you to take from today, is journalize everything. Journalize, journalize, journalize. And if you can see beyond the immediate aggression, try to talk about a little bit about what was happening just before the aggression started, during, and what your child did next. And over a period of time, you may notice a pattern. This is going to be very helpful later when we start talking about therapy, and behavior modifications, and some things that you can do at home. Some things that may have to be done on a professional level. But you can rest assured that the family is always going to be hands-on in all of these processes. That's all I have for today. That's volume 2. Bye.